because a lot of them come through to learn how to run their business, the business aspect of being a veterinarian.
The other piece of this is the student loans, there's no way to just make them go away. I mean, you can't even bankrupt these things.
A little less than you, but if you add our credit cards in, we're, call it 300.
Yeah, no credit cards for us.
And Roanoke, Virginia is not a backward town. I mean, that's a substantial city.
And you can also work shifts on Saturdays and Sundays and maybe even do emergency medicine overnight if you need to and let your...
Number 5, $300,000 in student loans. Courtney desperately needs Ramsey's help because she has fallen into the student loans trap and she is about $300,000 in student loan debt.
One house to support, one set of rent, one set of heat and air, one set of electricity, one set of water.
Okay, so I have fallen into the student loan conundrum.
A little less than you, but if you add our credit cards in, we're, call it 300.
Yeah, no credit cards for us. I'm 30 years old. I have about $300,000 in student loans.
My point is, your income is a lot better than ours was back then, at least to start.
And I am engaged, have been for the past 3 years.
She has even put off her marriage for 3 years because she wants to be able to pay for a nice ceremony, but with this insane debt, it's difficult to even think about that. Luckily enough, the guest on the show during her call was in a similar situation, and she has some meaningful advice for Courtney. She gives her hope that it is possible to get out of this situation as long as she buckles down.
For you guys, it doesn't matter, like Dave said, getting married is not the issue. Matter of fact, go ahead and get married, work on this thing together.
Are nervous to buy a home. We are currently renting.
And go through it together. And you're just going to have to walk through these steps.
And we want to get free. We are completely new to you and your show and your plan.
And commit to the fact that we've got this debt here for a couple of years.
So we just want to go.
I understand why you're scared with $300,000 in student loan debt.
We're living on nothing to get this paid off. Luckily, you guys have got a good shovel. You've got a good income.
Why does that affect getting married?
Mm-hmm. And that's it. It's just the student loans, right?
And Courtney, you feel stuck, don't you?
It doesn't. I guess.
Well, it did. You told me you've been waiting 3 freaking years.
I really do.
And you feel a little bit ashamed to marry him and hand him $300K.
Budgets and plans appropriately. Ramsey actually advises her to get married first, as this is more important than anything and would reduce their living costs. He then gives her a financial plan that should get her out of debt within 2 years.
Neither one of us just want to go to the courthouse and get married, but
you want to be able to pay for something nicer is what you're saying?
Not getting married, but it's messing up your view of yourself and your relationships.
But,
are you a doctor or a lawyer?
I'm actually a pharmacist. And it's also difficult to budget because, we want to have one bank account. Actually, it's more like 122, maybe.
Yeah, go get married this weekend. No,
Okay.
just ride with me on my little trip here, okay? It's a little low, but you're starting. You just got out. So it sounds absurd, but you've been dating for 3 years. You've been engaged forever.
He actually has no debt, and he has very minimal credit history.
If I calculated correctly, you make 122, he makes 60. That's 182. He has no debt.
Number 4, elder lady student loans. Rhonda is a hard-working 59-year-old lady. She's working 2 jobs just trying to make ends meet, but she has a crushing $258,000.
Someone wants to retire one day, and if they make good money in their careers, can they pay some of this down?
Yes, I'm currently working 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. However, I'm 59 years old.
Well, the answer to your question, because these are disturbing numbers at 59 years old.
That I owe $258,000 in student loans. Is there any way I can make that go away?
And you have not monetized your knowledge base very well.
Well, actually, I have 3 degrees, and with parents and students going to college.
In student loans debt. She's not just paying for her own degrees, which she has 3 of, but also for her son's. She signed on a Parent Plus loan to help pay for her son's tuition because he could not afford it, but it seems in the long run this was not a great decision. Her degrees are not very high-paying ones, and she's currently only making $60,000, which makes it difficult to even survive, let alone pay off debt. Ramsey simply tells her that the first thing she needs to do is make more money, Since she has a master's in accounting, she needs to use that degree and start making more than $150,000 a year.
The answer to your question is we have to make more money.
My son wasn't able to get the tuition for his classes, and I had to do Parent Plus loans the whole 4 years for him.
And
that would be wonderful.
And by the way, supply chain generally pays more than $60K or not go to that school. Yeah, okay, so you did it. Yeah. So what is your household income? Most people with a master's in accounting make $100,000 a year starting just to get going.
My regular job is like $60,000 a year. I have a mortgage.
And you got 3 degrees in what? With a master's in accounting, and you should move into that field and get up into the 6 figures. That's going to be mandatory.
Which is definitely possible with her degrees. In fact, Ramsey even thinks she can make $220,000 a year if she can find the right kind of job. She has found some technical difficulties in her field since she doesn't know how to use certain softwares, which are now a necessity in the field of accounting. But Ramsey believes it is easy enough to learn these skills at her age, and the first thing she needs to do is change her mindset and take control of her life, because right now she's just laying down and taking hits for no reason.
So why does a master's in accounting only make $60,000? And Roanoke, Virginia is not a backward town. I mean, that's a substantial city.
Would get you $60,000. It just so happens the job that I work at now pays a little bit more.
I'm a little lost as to why your career is so underproducing with all of your knowledge.
I'm a logistics specialist at Volvo Trucks.
I'm extra confused. So we got the divinity stuff. You're not doing anything with that. The other piece of this is the student loans. There's no way to just make them go away. I mean, you can't even bankrupt these things. We got accounting. You're not doing anything with that. We've moved to logistics.
Well, you're using accounting and logistics.
There's going to be a conversation with the kids. I don't know if they're willing to chip in for their loans, even though it's legally on you.
Number 3, crushing student loan debt. Justin is a freshly graduated medical resident, and to achieve his dream, he took out $1 million in student loans. Even Ramsey is shocked and asks him what the hell was he thinking to take out this insane amount of debt. The interest on his debt is $5,800 a month, which is even more than what people earn a month. Justin and his fiancée are trying to figure out a way out of this mess because they know if they don't, it will be a debt that will haunt them forever, which is not a great way to start a marriage. Justin is going to make about $250,000 a year, but that's not enough to actually put a dent into this debt. Ramsey recommends him to act like a broke college student because that's basically what he is, a broke orthodontist. Justin and his family need to make some cuts in their lifestyle and live with the bare minimum. Otherwise, there is no way out of this crushing mess that he has gotten himself into. He can't go to restaurants, buy a car, or spend money or anything else. Otherwise, he will surely be in more trouble than he is already in. Medical school is known for its high tuition costs, and students that need to take out significant loans to cover expenses often get in trouble just like Justin. As a result of this, many medical graduates carry substantial debt burdens that can take years or even decades to repay. This level of debt is insanely overwhelming and affects various aspects of a person's life, such as career choices, lifestyle, and financial well-being. Number 2, $200,000 in student loans. This new veterinary graduate from Illinois is about $200,000 in debt, and she has no idea what she's going to do. As a single parent, it makes the situation even worse, and she wants to make sure the future is secure for her 10-year-old child.
So I am a fresh new baby graduate, and I'm about $217,000 in debt.
Working in a practice that don't own the practice, lots of them that are making $125,000.
Both of my parents didn't go to college, so I don't really have anybody to talk to about like loan repayment and things of that nature. And
why would you want to stay in debt the rest of your life?
I don't.
Okay, let's get out of debt in 4 years.
I did luckily get gifted your course from a Facebook group that I'm in.
Lucky for her, Ramsey has a lot of experience working with veterinary graduates and has some tips on how she can proceed into her future, including what kind of job opportunities she should look out for. He advises her to focus on the highest paying specialization in the field so that she can easily pay off the debt first. She's already living on the minimum amount she can, and Ramsey gives her a plan in which she should be able to pay off the debt in about 4 years if she successfully stays employed, perhaps even faster if she can get a higher paying job sometime down the time. Ramsey emphasizes that it's important to pay off student loan debts as fast as you can and not let it hang over you for the rest of your life. Student loans always accrue interest over time. By paying off the loans early, you reduce the total amount of interest that accrues.
Managed to be a mother and a daughter and a graduate student and now a veterinarian.
No working in between high school, undergrad, and then I just graduated from veterinary school.
And you can also work shifts on Saturdays and Sundays and maybe even do emergency medicine overnight if you need to and let your...
I'm just wondering how realistic it is, because it seems like I'll never get to step 3.
Potentially saving you a significant sum of money in the long run. The faster you pay off the loans, the less interest you'll pay overall. Carrying the weight of student loan debt can be mentally and emotionally taxing. It can cause stress, anxiety, and a feeling of being financially trapped. Paying off her loans as quickly as possible will alleviate this burden and provide this strong veterinary graduate mother some peace of mind, allowing her to focus on other aspects of her life and career without the constant worry of debt.
Kids stay with your mom every once in a while.
If you go pick up another 50 grand doing that, you can be out of debt in 2.5 years.
And I see a lot of married couples.
We
And so
work
I'm
with a
kinda
lot.
wondering what
We
your-
work with a lot of veterinarians. Put 50 a year on it out of your 105 a minute ago. Then John added some work to your life, and we put another 40 or 50 on it because a lot of them come through to learn how to run their business, the business aspect of being a veterinarian.
Number 1. $250,000 in student debt. David from Pennsylvania is a pharmacist, and he is struggling with student loans with over $250,000 in debt. His annual household income, when combined with his wife's, is about $200,000 in a year. While that is good money, they are in a pretty deep hole, but according to Ramsey, they can still get out with a little bit of focus and hard work. In fact, Ramsey thinks if they really put in 100% or even more, then they can get out of this crushing debt within a year and a half. David is going to have to take the brunt force of the work part since his wife is pregnant and they already have another child, so her hands are full already. She won't be able to work as a full-time nurse because her kids need her, but luckily David seems to be the kind of guy that is ready to take responsibility for this family and work to his max to make sure he can provide a stable future for his wife and his kids. Being debt-free provides a greater sense of financial security and stability for a family. It means that the income in the household can be allocated towards meeting essential needs, saving for the future, and providing a comfortable lifestyle for the children. It reduces the risk of financial hardships, such as struggling to make loan payments or falling into debt traps, which can negatively impact a child's well-being and opportunities. David is thinking about his future and his kids' future. He knows that he needs to buckle down and do this for them. That's all for today, folks. We'll see you next time.